Welcome to Hallcroft Fisheries. We're here today where we've got 20 anglers battling it out for a first prize of £30,000. This is the ultimate feeder competition and we're just about to do the draw, so let's head on over there and find out where the competitors are going to draw. So the draw has been done. The 20 anglers are all heading down to the pegs now. We've got 10 over on one bank and 10 over on the other. What do you fancy? What do you fancy for the conditions in that, Les? I mean, it's gone really cold, hasn't it?
It's gone cold. I mean, last week a lot of fish were on the surface on a qualifier. Where a lot of fish were caught mugging with a method that we can't use today because it's just predominantly just all feeder fishing. Yep. We spoke about winning weights, what we've thought about. Wind's hacking down to the bottom of the lake. It is cold. We've put an extra layer on already. For me, I think this is going to be 90 to 100 pounds a wind. That wind's just blowing through again. Now it's cold. I don't think it'll be as prolific as we think. I know this is your game, so you tell me, what do you think? What have you gone for a winning weight?
I've gone for exactly £108, so I'm not that optimistic of a big weight, but as you know, Les, one thing fishing these venues all the way through summer, I know it's obviously September now at the time of filming, but not being able to lose feed can make a massive difference. You'd never think it would have such a big impact, but it has, hasn't it?
No, and that's the thing, that everything in this competition has got to go through the feeder. No one can throw anything in, no one can use anything by hand or with a catapult, or everything's through the feeder. So they'll be putting in a variety of lines. I mean, just looking at the anglers behind me now, some are looking to throw to the far bank towards the cover, some are looking to throw short, but that wind will play a part in that, as you know. When so you're trying to cast distance, they're not quite going to get there. But what a chance for some of these anglers. Now, they've paid £1.99 for a ticket. They've been pulled out of a draw. One lad's already saying this is going to be like East Fishing Mania. He's down in the middle of this bank. He's absolutely buzzing. And they're going to walk away with 30 grand.
Incredible opportunity, incredible, yeah. You know, for anybody to enter this. But I have got a question for you. I have been asked this a couple of times this morning. Do you think silverfish are going to come into it today?
I actually do, yeah.
Do you?
I think if someone just puts in that line to just fish the skimmers, just to start things off, build a peg up, considering how cold this is, and it is cold. I mean, it doesn't look it because the sun is on us, but that is a cold wind. So you tell me, you like fishing with skimmers, do you think they'll play a part?
I think they will, definitely. I don't think it's going to be a mega weight day today. We have got wind hitting it in certain areas of the lake. Normally you might want to be where the wind's hitting it, but as you said, it's such a cold wind, the fish might be out of that wind, you know, so that might be the place to be. But I definitely think that anybody fishing like a ground bait feeder or a maggot approach, catch anything approach, I think that could be the way to go today to get you, you know, an extra few pound in it.
Start to build your peg, and then obviously they'll switch to a method. They may sneak some. They've all got a lot of room, so they could sneak some edge fish late on, and the fish are big in here. They run up to like £20. Another weekend there were fish caught 3 fish for £60. So it could change in an instant as we go through the day. But no, it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
All I want is all of you, baby, baby. Nothing less than that will do, baby, baby. You take me higher, higher, higher. You set my soul on fire.
So we're down on peg 12 with David Bacon. David, we've been told that you're really excited because obviously you've now got a chance to fish for £30,000, but you always chase big money qualifiers, looking again fish show finals and
100%, yeah. I mean, it's been a few years now. We've been trying to get a fish show up and down the country. You spend a lot of money, you travel, you get disappointments. I've been close a few times, but like thirds and fourths, just missing out. So when this opportunity come up, and I saw it on Facebook, chance to get in a final like this, was like a real buzz. I thought, oh, I really fancy this. I'd done like 20 quid's worth of tickets, and got an email, congratulations, you got in the feeder final. I like nearly jumped off the couch. I said, oh, I believe it. My missus didn't even know about it. I was like, I'm in the final, I've got a chance to win 30k. I said, I've been trying all this time to get in the fish show. It's never happened. I said, I'm absolutely buzzing. You know, so yeah, excited, mate. Really.
No, I can appreciate that. I mean, you've drawn permanent peg 78, which is 12 on the day. I know you were practicing yesterday. You said that practice has gone well. You caught 60 plus pounds of fish, worked a few things out. How are you going to approach this one?
Well, I've got a few little tricks up my sleeve. I think I've caught down the middle, but not particularly well. I've caught well late down the edges, so I'm hoping that that's going to really come in for me. But here, I'm hoping that I'm going to catch over. I didn't yesterday, but I feel quite confident. Yeah, I've caught fish. I mean, I fished the match on Sunday and fished the feeder only, like it was a feeder only final.
Yeah.
I come third. I've had £150 up the other end in the good end, obviously. Really good up there, but I still learnt a few things. I sacrificed the match, if you like, but I still picked up a bit of money, which was handy along the way. Quietly feel I can catch it, yeah, so fingers crossed.
Well, I've looked at it, and for me, this is the end I'd want to be. I'd want to be in this last 3 pegs, or this section as such.
Yeah.
It's not a massive chuck to that far side, is it, like I say? And that wind,
With that wind blowing down in now for 2 days, and actually seeing a guy catch a few yesterday, then my confidence has gone up a bit. Obviously, you're looking, you know, when you're fishing up, you're seeing someone catching a few, you think, am I doing a few things wrong, or is there a few fish there and the wind's blowing down there? And that's what I'm hoping, that what I do will bring me a few fish. And fingers, I'm buzzing for it, but I'm going to try and stay chilled. I've got a match plan. I'm not going to panic. If someone's sort of, you know, get feedback that someone's catching a fish, it won't bother me. I know how big these fish are down the edge. If you get a little run, I don't think you're ever out of it.
No,
and that's what I'm looking forward to. I think it's going to be a really good match. Obviously, there's pegs you fancy more than others, but you always do. So let's just see. You know, let's just see how it pans out. Yeah, I'm buzzing.
mate, you seem really confident. What are you going to do with the money if you win?
That's a good question. I think the first thing to do is get a new van. That van's cost me a lot of money. It looks really nice, but it's like Trigger's broom. Like, it's the same van with all new bits. Do you know what I mean?
That sounds a bit like mine, to be honest.
So that'll probably be the first. That's going to eat a fair bit of money in it. I'll take my girlfriend away somewhere. Of course I will. And we'll have a little jolly up. She works hard, and you know that'd be great. Maybe a night out with the boys, you know, and have a good time and celebrate what would be, you know, probably the best ever chance I'm going to get to win this sort of money. I know that. I mean, if you get into a fish show, these boys, we just saw what Jamie did up here the other day, £500. Like, wow, yeah, it is another level sometimes. So this is like giving like the average Joe a chance of it. I'm not bringing myself down. I think I can mix it, but you know there is another level, I think, and this is like great. This is like giving me an opportunity. So I want to take it, but you know so does everyone else. So let's see how we go.
And that's what this competition's all about. It's all about everybody getting a chance. You know, it is difficult to qualify for big finals, you know, but this gives everyone a chance. So hopefully, best of luck. End of the day,
buddy.
you might be here lifting the trophy.
Oh, let's hope so, mate. Yeah, thanks for that.
Cheers, pal.
Right, mate.
Morning. What do you reckon? What peg you got?
Peg 4, permanent peg 27.
You fancy that?
Yeah, I do. Anywhere down here, it's got to be a good draw on it.
Yeah, that wind's cold, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the only thing today. That wind pushing up down there, if they've moved down there, then they'll have a field down at pegs, but we'll just have to see.
Brilliant.
How's it going?
All right, peg number 5?
Yeah, permanent 30-ish.
All right.
So,
Fancy that?
No.
No?
Apparently the right bank, but probably, well, I'm 4 away from the end peg, so no. And I'm in with all of the better pegs, so section's not looking good either.
Right.
So we shall see, you never know, do you? They might get on this wind and push down a little bit, and I can pick a few off as they move, so we'll see what happens.
Brilliant. Good luck.
Cheers.
Come on, local expert.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is that the rumour?
No, yeah.
Have you been practicing, have you?
Yeah, but I won't even call it practicing, it's been diabolical.
Has it really been, what, the fishing's been hard?
Yeah.
Has it?
On that far side, yeah. That's where I've gone today, like, so not fancying it at all.
So what number are you on today?
15 peg 87, I think.
Permanent 87, so you got back to the river over that bank, yeah.
May as well get it, river.
Right, it's almost time for the ultimate feeder competition to start. Craig, are you ready?
We're ready. Should we do the honours?
Yes, mate. Over to you.
You get me like no one before. Yeah. You don't need me, but you want me more and more. It's true. You took
We are exactly 1 hour and 30 minutes into the match. It's been slow for this bank pretty much for 7 anglers. They've just caught skimmers anything from 8 ounces up to a pound, but everyone has caught fish. The leader on this bank is just over my shoulder here. David Bacon, the one we spoke to earlier. He's got 3 carp and a couple of small skimmers that will go 20 pounds. Mark Wilkinson on peg 14, he's got a carp around about 8 to 10. It was hard to tell from how far away I was, but he's got 1 carp. And then James Howell up on the second peg in from the end, he's got 1 carp for around about 6 pounds. Jason Proctor's lost a carp, but he's got a couple of skimmers. So the leader so far on this bank, and I believe from what I'm hearing, he's probably in second place with the MPEG Sam Bunting leading from the other bank, is David Bacon.
Now, there are lots and lots of skimmers and bream in here, and we know that there are certain anglers, particularly on these 2 sections here, that are targeting them, but they are struggling to catch any sort of numbers of them. However, at this stage, we know that peg 2, Sam is actually winning the whole of this bank at the moment. He's actually got 4 carp now and 1 skimmer. And those are going to go at least £35. It could even be pushing £40. So as you can imagine, certainly 2 of those fish are really big fish. So he's winning the whole of this bank at the moment. The next angler behind him is Chris on peg 5. He was struggling, but he's suddenly found a stocky carp and a big carp and a couple of skimmers, so he's back in it. But also peg 4, literally within the last 10 minutes, has just had 2 carp for £18 with a method feeder right down the middle. In this bottom section, there is only 1 carp caught, and that is Adam on peg 8. We think that fish is about £7. And other than that, there are a few anglers that have literally only caught 1 skimmer. And just to put it into context for you, whilst we thought MPEGs were going to dominate, the end peg down here, peg 10, the angler there hasn't had a bite yet. So it's still wide open even at this stage.
James actually did something, no, it's Jason, sorry, did something quite interesting. Just randomly started just dropping off the end of his rod, like you would do on a short pole line. He hadn't fed there all day, ended up catching his first carp and a couple of big skimmers, and he's the only one to have tried that in this section. So that might be something else some of the others might want to think about trying, but it's not for me to say. Any better, Sean? Have we got that first carp yet? Yeah? How big? 15. So there you go. There you go. So you've gone from nothing to £20 in a bite. So there's enough time, mate. A few more pulls. Good luck. Again, now literally Sean had said for the lion's share of the match he just caught skimmers, and he kept saying, look, there's big fish. You only take a couple of bites. 1 fish, £15. So this could all change. Just like that. But I would expect with the fish that were showing at the bottom end of this lake, more people to say they've started to catch more carp now. So with Andy now, look, Andy's back down his edge, putting some more bait in. Carp yet, Andy? Very slow. I better hold that back for camera where he said he's going to pull that miracle from, but let's just say if he goes grubbing around and finds one in there, I might have a look myself. Oh dear. Right, so we're now at Jake, and Jake at one point was admitting to £17 to £18 last time we spoke to him. What have we got now, Jake? 17. I'd say you've been stuck on 17 for some time, haven't you? No. Where are you now, mate? Down the edge? Yeah, there's a few starting to come out though, Jake. He's had 1 2 up, £15, so there's still time.
Still got the section as well to fish for, so. And that's the thing with the competition, there's £1,000 for the 5 pegs, so there's still something to play for. So Mark was admitting to, I think, £14 last time. Any more, Mark? No more? You down the edge now as well?
I've been down there, not even going any liners, so I'm going back over them.
Right. Best of luck, pal. Let's see if you get a few pulls. Mark was just saying then that he's tried his margins, nothing's happening. He's put a bit of kit down there, still no signs at all, so he's switching back to where he caught his early fish, hoping that the fish will be tighter to that far bank, well, the far side of the bank there than they are at this side. But to me, it just seems that this part of the lake has been, there hasn't been as many fish, especially in that 2 pegs up. It's been a struggle. They caught a couple of early fish, but then it's been skimmers all the way after that. The fish seem to be this end. So Tim was unfortunately struggling before. He said he'd only got a couple of pound. Come on, Tim, give me some good news.
I'd love to, mate, I'd love to.
No?
No.
Still on the skimmers?
Just some people cut the skin.
Couple of skimmers. Couple of skimmers. Time to get some kit in then, pal. Get some kit in down these edges. Now then, the man who was really excited to be in this final. He's been leading this bank from the start. He's fished a lovely match. He's fished, if we can just come here and we see, if you look out to the zoom to the far side, where the ducks are, they got the pellet, then there's the old staging and the aerator. David's cast probably 2 meters. That's where he's caught his fish, probably where those ducks are about to get hit now. Boom, close. So he's fished in that sort of area, 2-3 meters from the bank. He did do some random casting further down where he's picked up a couple of other fish, but he's picked up, that's where he's caught the lion's share of his carp, and then some skimmers short, and he's put some kit down the edge. He told me that during practice he found it better that if he fed with his baiting feeder just off the end of his rod and then lowered a method in, nothing was spooked, he'd get more indications. So we'll keep away from that, because I think that's where he's going to need to be banking on this last hour. So how's he going on now? 7. We'll just let him cast this out and then we'll check in with him. That's the spot. He's gone a little bit further over. So that is, if we just caught did we get that on camera? I'm not sure, but that's pretty much where he's caught, in between the 2 pallets. So let's pop, I'll get a little bit closer and just see what he's got. What weight we got now then, David? What weight we got now?
55 pounds.
55. You're in the race then, pal. You're in the race. Say again. I ain't on that bank. What's been fed back to me earlier that it was that he got 60, 50 to 60, so I'd imagine he's had a couple more pulls, but I've just been saying what you on this margin to the right side, but keep doing what you're doing. If, you know, there's plenty of time. There's plenty of time. Yeah, and when the fish are 15 pounds, it ain't going to take you much to catch it back. Stick with it, pal. Good luck. So you see he's now on 50, he's admitting to 55. Now Jamie's running the other bank. Jamie told me at one point that the guy on the end had got 17, the guy on the end told me he got 30. The guys who were covering it for capital catch, they turned around and told me that the guy on the end had probably got 50 to 60. Then I heard someone say, oh, they think he's got 80. They're all big fish. So obviously I've just run this bank. David has just controlled this bank from the start. So, you know, he's winning his section, he's winning this bank, unless Robert can tell me he's improved on that £20 that he got the last time I spoke to him. Mr. Lucky, Robert, tell me, any more?
Just one bream.
One bream. How big?
About
22, so 22 poundish. Need some big fish down there, mate. Need that rod to start pulling round.
Anyone else catching really well?
David's admitting to 55 next peg. He's had a good spell fishing over between the two pallets, hasn't he? So yeah, but stick with it, pal. David's winning this bank and Sam on the other side is winning that bank. But there's still time. There's still time. All the best. So there we go. We've spoken to, well, most of the anglers on this bank, and still David Bacon is our leader with 55-ish pound.
Well, we're just coming into this last hour and we're currently behind Connor. Now, Connor had a steady start. He had a couple of fish and then he had a little run of 2 or 3 skimmers. But then the middle part of the match, he had an absolutely fantastic spell where he went down the middle with quite a light method feeder, right down the middle. And to be fair, I don't think anglers either side of him were doing that, so he kind of got it to himself, but he made it work and he had a run of about 6 fish in literally half an hour, which got him right back into it. And it actually got him so he was on 8 fish, same as Sam, who's been leading down on peg 2. He must have got approaching £100 now. He must have, just like Sam down there. So we know the stamp of fish is obviously going to make a difference, but numbers wise, Connor's right in it. And from what we've just heard as well, I mean, we're going into this last hour, Sam is catching fish down his left hand margin now. He is on the end peg, so you know it does look fantastic, that left hand margin. But Connor's sticking it out in the middle. And as you can see from him playing this, every fish is just so important, but there's such a big stamp. Bit of a shuffle. He's still fighting him back down that margin. He's got it. Well done, Connor. That's another very important fish. So we're just under an hour to, you can see the stamp of the fish there. The average stamp's so big. So we've just got under an hour to go and he's 1 fish behind the leader. We are into the final 15 minutes and as predicted, it's definitely picked up. It looks like there has been an absence of skimmers and bream today. I expected more bream being caught, albeit by accident, but they've just not really fed, you know, even the people that have fished for them. So it's been all about the carp. However, up at this top end on this bank, it's been a 2-horse race, to be fair, for the last 2 hours between Connor on peg 4 and Sam on peg 2. Sam was the early leader. You know, he caught early on and he got a really nice lead. He got up to about 6 or 7 fish. In that time, Connor had only caught a couple of carp. He then caught a few skimmers, but then he suddenly had a run of carp and that's got him right back into it. He caught 6 or 7 carp in very, very quick succession within the space of half an hour, 40 minutes, fishing down the middle. And to be fair, even at these later stages, I think he's still on that line now. He's fishing quite a large feeder, but it's a light method feeder, fishing down the middle, and he's now up to 13 carp. Now, obviously, we're only counting carp there, so there are different sizes there. Lots of the anglers today haven't necessarily clicked the weight of what they think they've got, but, you know, we're more than confident that Connor's got over £100 now with 13 fish. The other angler who's been leading obviously has been Sam up on peg 2, and at the time of recording this he is actually playing another fish, so he's got at least 13 fish as well. Now Sam's been very cautious, just trying to make sure he's landing every fish, so it's been taking him quite a while to land the fish, but he has landed them all, so it's difficult to gauge how big they are, you know, when you're taking fish steady like that, but he's doing a great job up there. However, his last few fish have been caught down his left hand margin, which he is on an MPEG. It's a fantastic looking margin, and you know, his last probably 4 or 5 fish have come from that left hand margin. It's going to be incredibly close. The weigh-in today is going to start on the other bank and work its way around this way, which means that these anglers at this end who we potentially think may have a chance of winning it, these are going to be the last 3 anglers to weigh in, so it's going to be very, very exciting in these last few minutes. The hooter is about to go very, very shortly, and obviously, as you can expect, he's going to be trying to make sure he lands this fish. Numbers wise, we think Connor's slightly in front, but it's going to be down to the stamp of the fish. He's got no rush to land this. He's got 15 minutes, so hopefully he's going to get this fish netted and then we'll commence weighing in.
which is David Bacon, someone that we tipped for the win. It hasn't quite gone as well as he thought the last hour. However, he's admitting to 95 to £100. He's had a right battle with Robert Fogg late on, who's had some fish turn up down his edge, so this will be interesting.
46.6.
First wave 46.6. He's had a real good run. Early doors fishing over. He's had nothing, his margins have never come to life. But then late on he's had another spell, just random casting between the aerator and the two pellets. And we got him pegged at 95 to £100, another 40 plus here. Big fish. What's that going to be?
42.15.
42, so that's 88. Now he's got his skimmers, so he's a 95 to 100.
Right, pal, how you doing?
Just depends.
Thank you.
Pretty honest, to be fair.
And £2.2.
£2, so £90. This could be close. Robert said he's lost some fish as well. He's got broken twice down his edge on big fish, but he's admitting to 75 to 80, but we shall see. £71. So you were close with your 75.
Yeah.
Honest, well done, Robbie. Honest. You fished a lovely match, really lovely match. You just needed that little bit of luck down there.
I lost 2.
Right then, Joe.
It appears that this side is fished a lot better than my side.
Yeah, it's they haven't had loads and loads of fish, but the stamp's been absolutely brilliant. So some lads have had 8 fish for £60. It's just we knew the average of the fish were big on here, and
47.1.
and that's meant that when someone's changed line or they've had a visit, and like one angler here, he's been nowhere at the off-weight stage. He's dropped down his margin and had 3 and 3 chucks. Connor here, he had 6 in 20 minutes from nowhere. He'd literally had 2 carp after 2 hours. He's gone down the middle, and he's changed something, I don't know what, and he's gone and caught 6 in 6 casts, and all of a sudden
The stamp is a lot bigger. I mean, one thing that no one's mentioned 2 pegs down that's just took the lead with, I think it was 115. He's just right.
Yeah.
Like that. But the difference on our side, just 2 pegs have produced which are on the wind, where this side of the lake, everything is away from the wind.
49.
It's been better the top end of the lake as opposed to our side. So
that's interesting.
but everyone's caught fish on my side for that last hour and a half. They've caught their margins, and as we expected and what we said at the start, they've put some kit in, they've chased some fish. They've gone from teens to 40s and 60s in that last hour and picked up some section money, some prizes. But we thought that David over on that far side would get 3rd place. However, it looks like he's just going to pick up a section, and he's Connor going to take the lead.
Yeah, well, I mean, last count, the most accurate count we got is that Connor got to 14 fish, which, by our reckonings is more than what Sam down on peg 2 had got. But again, it's down to stamp of fish. But Connor has lost 3 fish.
Yeah.
He pulled out a 2 mid-match, and then he's literally hooked one with about 10 seconds to go, and unfortunately has lost that as well. So he's obviously hoping that that's not, that's going to affect things.
The talk over that side was 13 and 14 between them. So it could be down to stamp. So
right, I've had a quick word with Connor, and he was admitting he's tried to click accurately, and he thinks he's between 120 and 130.
Yeah.
I've had a quick chat with Sam down on peg 2, and whilst he's got probably 1 or 2 fish less, he's clicked around 120. So
it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it is. Is this his final way?
Yeah.
I think there's any more nets in, is it?
No, that's it. See how accurate he is.
Yeah. The interesting thing is that Connor's caught just about every single fish down the middle.
Yeah, and he's sort of had it to himself as well. And I had a little spell where I walked over to the island to watch what he was doing, where Sam was catching down his edge.
That's it, exactly.
Connor got all this water to himself. He climbed the middle of the lake, and the fish have turned up in numbers for him. So £127 is now the leader. You said that he was admitting to around about 120-ish.
Yes.
Thought he got a few more fish than couple more fish than Sam, but Sam's admitting to 120-ish now.
He says he's clicked about 120 now. Usually he airs on the side of caution because of net rules. They haven't had so much of that today, so
No.
I've got a feeling. I mean, some of the lads have been watching him play fish, and he was told by his uncle, who's been sat behind him all day, to make sure he lands every fish. So he has been playing them very carefully. So
This is going to be close.
the last one to weigh in. Yes.
£51 first weigh.
Yes.
How many nets has he got left? 2.
2 nets left.
He's going to have enough if one of those is a silver net.
Well, that's true. That's true. He has caught some skimmers, albeit by accident. Although he did feed it, right before the start of the match, he told me he was going to feed maggots and ground bait at 6 metres to try and catch any sort of skimmers and bream along the way. But I think you'll know that he never went on that.
If we look, the net limit is 70. So he needs to be close to his net limit and some silverfish now, doesn't he? So
yeah, he was. He's made sure he's landed every fish as well. He hasn't lost any fish. He's had the vast majority across there, just to the left of that platform opposite.
It's a lovely day's fishing, though.
Yeah, he has.
When I've watched from over there, it's a lovely day's fishing.
Yeah, and then he's come down this left-hand margin about only 6 metres away, not as far as the next platform, but I mean it looks lovely down there with all them features.
Sedges.
And he caught on it straight away.
Here we go. So
It's nice to see so many Matrix keep nets today, by the way.
They're everywhere.
They are. That is nice to see.
It's the value. I don't think he's got enough.
No, it's not looking it, is it?
No. He's
That's not.
It's going to be close to 50 again, isn't he, there?
That's not going to be enough, is it?
It's not going to be enough.
Like I say, when you're looking at the fish from the top of the banks, we were obviously not going out, skylining them too much, and it's difficult when they're netting fish.
Yeah.
And when they're making sure they're landing them, they are playing them a little bit cautious. Which, let's be right, he's not lost any fish, so he's done the right thing.
And
making sure
they're really hard to judge the weight, given on the the size, the big old chunky fish in there.
They are.
£49.
Well, you said that, didn't you? You said £50 for that one, didn't you?
So there you go. So there's 100 on the nose. So that puts him third at this present moment in time. He'll be third.
Incredible.
So good,
So, Connor, and not from an end peg.
No.
Not from an end peg.
And everyone was saying Sam. Even I've said from the other side, Sam.
Yeah.
That's all I could hear. But everyone's Connor's just got unnoticed. And he's come up on the rails and overtook.
Yeah,
well done, Connor.
Yeah,
what a
fantastic.
performance.
127. We're here with the main man, the first ever Ultimate Feeder champion. This is Connor. Congratulations, mate.
Cheers, thank you.
Could you just give us an insight into, how you prepared for this match? Have you been practicing, and did you learn anything that you've caught on today?
Yeah, I've been coming Sundays on open matches. I've been enjoying all right. I've been enjoying down here, and I've been talking to a few lads, and they've with method job. It's just to tack it down middle. You fill it in with bait, quite a lot of bait. Here, the fire pellets over at top casting constantly, so I've used some bait up feeders, put loads of pellets in, and that's how I've caught all my fish down middle. I tried across 2 skimmers early on and nothing else, just down middle. I didn't bother with edges because I've tried it in practicing and it's very hard to catch down there. As soon as they bump into your line with your feeder line, and they're just gone. You can't get them to settle, but yeah, main protocol is just down middle.
Did you change anything, because you were stuck on 2 carp for ages, weren't you? 2 hours or whatever, and then you suddenly caught like 6 in half an hour. Did you change anything for that to happen, or did they just rock up?
I just started casting constantly every 4 minutes, and then I started double skinning
We're moving.
with method. Putting it on once, putting your wafter in the middle, then putting it on again, and getting lots of bait down there. That's when I started catching. Then it went dry again, and then I used bait up feeder, 3 big ones of that, then started catching again. And when that went dry, same again, and then catching again.
One thing that we've noticed, I managed, because all we could hear on the other side, that Sam was winning the match. Sam was winning the match. Then they said, well, Connor may have snuck in. So I've gone over to the island and taken a look, and it was noticeable that you had all that middle channel of that lake to himself. So you'd obviously got your plan spot on. On the other side of the lake, There's a few people tried to attack it, but no one's persevered down the middle of the. So exactly what you sorted out in practice, you got it spot on, and you've put the time in, which is an important thing in it, Jay. When you make these finals, or, you've been drawn out, you've got to the final, you have to practice, and it's paid off. So the question is, £30,000. What are you going to spend the money on?
I think it's going to go on an house.
House?
Yeah, I live with my girlfriend at the minute. She's got her own house, but I think we'll end up buying one together, and maybe an holiday somewhere next year.
I'd just, if it was me, I'd just consider saying maybe she just has a third and you keep the rest, and that's it.
According to Tom, she's already spent it.
Mate, well done, awesome performance. I think we both agree.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Right, everyone, thanks ever so much for your time today. I think it's been a brilliant match. It's been really close. The winner didn't come from where we thought, so that was good. One end peg dominated like we thought it might be. And a massive thank you as well to obviously the fishery for helping with all the organisation and also the weighing in today. I think it's probably the slickest weighing in I've ever seen in a big final, so big thank you to you. Right, on to the results. So we're going to pay the 4 sections by default, all £1,000 each, and then we'll get into the top 3. So section 1 from peg 4, section 1 from peg 3 with £54.14 winning £1,000 was Steve Dobbs. Section 2 from peg 8 with £77 6 ounces was Adam Wild. Section 3 from peg 12 with £91 7 ounce was David Bacon. And the final section was from peg 19, £65 10 ounces, James Howell. So from peg 2 with exactly £100, and getting 3rd place was Sam Bunting. In 2nd place from peg 5 with £115 2 ounces, just probably one fish short of winning it, was Chris Norman. And the winner of the first ever Ultimate Feeder competition, winning £30,000 from peg 4 with £127 14 ounces, was Conor Bennion.
You set my soul